Yes guys, welcome back. In this video I will show you how I draw drawings with scribble lines. This is one of my favorite styles of drawing and something that I enjoy honestly drawing the most with. You know, it's good to learn different techniques, but this is a style of drawing that, just lets you express yourself in a very open way without having to worry about any rules, and this comes straight out of your heart and relies entirely on your instinctual abilities. All I'm doing is taking my pen and aimlessly drawing these scribble lines that look completely unintentional. Although there is a purpose behind them, you cannot follow the direction of any stroke, which makes them so much more fun to draw. So normally you see me shade and draw like this, with straight lines overlapping each other, but we're not going to be doing any of that. This is a completely different type of drawing that personally I would absolutely love to draw with all the time, and I do. And you have to trust your abilities and your instincts to come up with a drawing like this. As you can see, all I'm doing is playing with density, and the rest of the face kind of shapes around that itself. And I try to not draw a single straight line or any intentional looking line at all. So let me draw a simple eye, draw a little bit of a nose down here, and so basically this is going to be the premise of how I'm going to draw a complete face later on. I even hold the pen from the very corner, so I have very little control of the actual pressure. So I'm using a 0.3 micron pen for this one. You could go lighter like a 0.1 or a thicker one with 0.5. I just feel like this is a nice little middle ground, middle of the road thickness for this kind of a drawing, so I went with the 0.3. So I'm going to draw a complete face, and I'm trying to draw an old man with a very wrinkly face because I wanted to have that rawness to the drawing. It's not supposed to look super pretty. I'm trying to draw a face with a lot of depressions and variations in skin tone and variations in texture. So I'm just drawing what I can picture in my head, and I'm not right now worried about the little details of the face. I gave a little bit more control to the eyes because that's kind of what the entire drawing is going to be built around. It's still not supposed to look very intentional. It's still supposed to look very light. So right now I'm just playing around with where the creases on his face are going to be and where the darker and lighter spots are going to be, and the rest of the drawing kind of just takes shape around that. This is sort of his forehead with some lines, but again, I'm trying to avoid any straight lines at all. There's some cheekbones right here on the side, and the way that I'm creating shadow is by just giving more density to my scribbles. So wherever you have a little bit of a peak, for example, you see more white, and then every time there's a valley, there's a little bit of a depression. I'm trying to make it a little bit darker. You got some wrinkles down here on the neck. These eyebrows are going to be a little bit darker. Trying to make the eye socket here, and just highlighting the creases on his face a little bit, but not be a traditional way of shading. I wouldn't even call it shading. It's kind of just an explosion of instinctual, drawing ability, I guess. And this is a very good way to find your confidence when it comes to drawings. If you are hesitant or think too much before drawing any line, or you're too worried about making mistakes, I would absolutely encourage do something like this and see where you go. It's okay if you don't end up with what you had in mind, but just drawing like this can, kind of set you free a little bit. It helps you explore your sensibilities. Uh, and personally, I absolutely love drawing like this, even if it's not what I originally had in mind. Just the ability to kind of have fun out there is something I enjoy a lot compared to like a super detailed drawing where I have to, I have to be worried about perspective, I have to be worried about scale and proportion. All that stuff kind of goes out of the window when you're drawing something like this. So right now, what I'm doing is trying to create a variation from light to dark, so there's a bit of a gradient, and once I have located my peaks and valleys, I'm blending them together. So this neck area is supposed to be a little bit darker, and see where I'm holding the pen at. It's like completely at the very back end. It's just I have no control right now over the actual nib of the pen, but it's just it's so loose, it's so free. I feel so liberated drawing like this. I'm gonna try to draw something a little bit more familiar next time, maybe a face that y'all can remember for reference. This was kind of a foray into this type of drawing. But yeah, I'll definitely be doing something like this again in the future. Guys, let me know if you enjoyed this little tutorial, this little display, and if you guys like me to draw things other than just buildings. This has been a lot of fun for me. Please don't forget to like the video, share it, and hitting the subscribe button. I will see you in the future in the next video. Thank you very much.